now, but that doesn't mean reading is any less fun. Literacy volunteers of Bangor, the Briar Patch Bookstore, and Darling's Ice Cream for a Cause held their annual children's book drive in Bangor today. The organizations spent the day collecting new and gently used children's books to support literacy volunteers of Bangor's programs, which help local families improve their reading, writing, and English speaking skills. Community members got to enjoy ice cream while listening to guest readers narrate children's books. Though Literacy Volunteers of Bangor serves adults, the organization has helped put on this event for the last 11 years. Executive Director Mary Taylor says about 40% of their clientele are parents of young children.
We really love being able to work with adults who are parenting young children because we know that by an adult or the parent reading and reinforcing the behavior and modeling, then the children will pick it up as a learned behavior as well. So if we're working with adults that want to be able to read better, we want to make sure that they have what they need in their homes to be able to do that with their children.
Taylor says Literacy Volunteers of Bangor is always looking for trained tutors. If you're interested in becoming a volunteer, you can visit their website for more information.